Okay then guys, here we go with another recipe. This time it is a runner bean chutney. I need more runner beans in this, I just can't fit them all on the table. About 1.2 kilograms. So we got runner beans, apple cider vinegar. I'm using golden castor for this as well. You can use soft brown sugar if you want, or even demerara sugar. 3 onions, turmeric. Yep, turmeric. I always say turmeric, it's turmeric, and cornflour. English mustard powder. Now a choice of seeds. I've got Nigella, black mustard seeds, and some dark toasted sesame seeds. So I'll put all of those in. I think that's everything. Ignore this lot here, that's just queuing up for the next recipes. Could well be a tomato chutney next. So first thing we need to do is top and tail the runner beans, string them and chop them up, slice them. I'll do that, show you a bit of it, then we'll move swiftly on. Right, now if you're careful, when you top and tail them, if you don't cut right through, you can use the bit to pull off the strings if they're stringy. It doesn't always work, you don't always need doing. Otherwise, just use a potato peeler, just take the edge off like that. So simple. Right, yeah, I think the best way is mass production, isn't it? Yeah. Top and tail them. I think some of these are older than others. We've got a right mix here. We've got Danny's Runner beans, we've got White Emergo, we've got Enorma, and I'm sure there's one other. So I'll get on with all these and come back to you. When you get cutting though, you get a feel for which ones are stringy. Like these, big tough old ones, you can feel it, so certainly it'll speed things up. So what I've done with those, most of those, I've stringed them as I'm going along. But all I'm doing is just gently with a potato peeler. And when you've stringed them all, or is it stringed or is it strung? I don't know actually. What with that then? Yeah. Just, like I say, cut them into, I don't know, about centimetre, half-inch diamonds, roughly diamonds. There we are. You can see different ones, look, some have got red seeds, some have got white seeds. Makes it more interesting, doesn't it? Never understood why you cut runner beans into diamonds. Because if you're cooking them, let me show you. If you cut them like that, that piece is going to cook evenly, yeah? So, you know, it's the same all over. But if you cut it in a diamond like that, it's hard to see, but that bit there and that bit there is smaller than the rest of it, so that's going to cook quicker, isn't it? Don't know. Just one of those traditional things. I'll have to Google that later on. Right, next up, we're going to sort of blanch these, so back in a bit. Okay, while we're waiting for the kettle to boil, I'm just going to chop the onions. A lot of veggies with me have been so late this year, but they aren't half prolific now. The runner beans, for example, I've been moaning for a month, 3 months, haven't I, about my runner beans, and now I'm picking that many daily, and that's from 9 plants, no, yeah, 10 plants. Because the ones here are finished now. You may notice I've cut them down behind me. But those ones, they were giant runners, not for eating really. Just going to chop these. Right, that's boiling. Now, when you add anything to a pan, always add things away from you, especially with deep fat fryers, so add in those, look, no splashes. And all we're going to do is just boil these quickly for 3 minutes. All we're trying to do is soften them, and then we're going to cool them in cold water. I haven't got enough ice cold water, so I'm going to under the tap with them. And then on with the next bit. Okay, then that's just over 3 minutes now, that'll do. Drain, strain, rinse and cool, and back in a bit. Okay, there they are. Look. Just going to leave those to rest for a bit and get on with the onions. Okay guys, I'm having a little break now. I want to put a warning in at this point. Do not eat the runner beans at this stage. They're partially cooked, and partially cooked runner beans are not particularly good for you. In fact, they're worse than raw runner beans. Many of you will say, well, I've eaten raw runner beans all my life and I'm all right. You may well be, but raw runner beans, and even worse, partially cooked runner beans, have high levels of lectin and phytohemagglutinin, enzymes that can cause problems with your digestive tract, and end up with them several hours sat on the toilet or leaning over it. It is a fairly rare occurrence, and when people do get upset stomach from runner beans, it's not necessarily the runner beans that get the blame. It's one of those things. I mean, I could walk across a road blindfold 90 times out of 100 and not get run over, but 10% of the time I will. A bit like eating raw runner beans. You could get away with it for ages and then suddenly it hits you. I've put more information at the end, guys, but here's one little story for you that may make you sit up and listen. Now, this is from a well-known gardening website. Let me just click on it. Where are we? There we are. And it is in response to, yes, of course you can eat raw runner beans. And it goes like this. At 3:30 this afternoon, my wife and I were on the allotment eating raw runner beans straight from the plant. We have two varieties, one with white beans and the other with pink. These beans are mature, with a lot of them already turned brown, and we ate only the ones that were still green. By 7 p.m. I was projectile vomiting, and you really don't want to know what was happening in the other end at the same time. This lasted about 3 hours, and every minute of which I thought I was either going to die or I wish I had. By 11 p.m. the vomiting had stopped and my stomach cramps were subsiding. At 11:15 my wife got home from a singing practice complaining of bad stomachache, and basically she did exactly the same for the next several hours. And this is on a well-known gardening forum. I'm not going to repeat the name of it. Google it yourselves, guys. You have been warned. So, on with the show. Right, now we've got to soften up the onions. So, where are they? So tidy, like I put things away. So in the pan with these, with 350 ml of vinegar. Well, I got my big jug for this because I was going to measure out the whole lot in one go. But I'm not now. I say 350-ish. There we go. Okay, that's the onions, been bubbling away now for about 10 minutes, 12 minutes. So in with some more vinegar and the rest of the ingredients. Okay then, in with the sugar. I always say this, I don't know why I'm stirring it. Jug. In with another 250 ml of vinegar. While that's heating up, we're going to make up a slurry of the spices and things. So a little bit of salt, we'll have a good pinch of salt really. 65 grams of cornflour, which is quite a lot. A tablespoon of turmeric. I get it in there. Half a tablespoon of English mustard. Yeah, right, we'll have a tablespoon. Half a tablespoon of mustard seeds. I'm using black mustard for this one. Tablespoon of Nigella seeds. Notice they're all black, these. All black seeds. Ooh. About a tablespoon of black sesame seeds. And what we do then, we can put about 100 ml of vinegar in and make a slurry up. There we are then, just let that bubble away for 2 or 3 minutes just to thicken up a little bit. In with the beans. There we are, look. Going to let that simmer now for about 30 minutes. Stir it now and again so nothing sticks to the bottom. Meanwhile, we should go and sterilise some jars. Okay guys, that's been just over 30 minutes, and I'm gonna jar that up, you know. I want it to be a little bit runny. Yeah, so right off the heat, go and get the jars. As usual, I'm wearing most of it. Right, now these are warm, so let's get too bad. Okay then, here we go. Right, it does look a bit runny, but it's hot and it will set in the jar. And what I am going to do, I'm going to nab a little bit and try it. Yeah, just the right amount of crunch, that's good. Well, there we are, guys. 4 jars of Runner Bean Chutney. And it is very nice now. It will be very much nicer in about a month's time when it's had time to mature a bit. 3 to 6 months in the cupboard, 1 to 2 weeks in the fridge once you've opened it. Please follow my little disclaimer halfway through about eating the raw runner beans or even the partially cooked runner beans. Partially cooked runner beans are so toxic. If you don't believe me, Google it and look it up. All right, I'll put a link in the description below just to show you how bad it can be. You may get away with it for years and years and years, and you have that one runner bean and you're not off the toilet for a day, believe me. Right. Hope you've enjoyed this one, guys. A little bit of a sobering thought at the end there, but I'll catch you on the next recipe.